All right. Amen.
We
So
are.
we
Amen. For
have
sure.
here on today Miss Lynn Stoltz. Oh my goodness. I am so honored. I am so honored and blessed
Thank you.
to have you here on tonight. And this has been a blessing to have you here to come in and take out that time for me to interview you at this time. And as we can see, we have you as a writer, a producer, a director, a publisher, author, a mother, and it's just a blessing to
Most
have you.
job I have. The
Ma'am. and listen, I do understand, and I'm so grateful and honored to have you on with us on tonight. So I
Thank you.
wanted to read just a little bit of your bio because it is extensive. I mean you are like somebody who's doing some great things out here, and I mean, and I'm glad that you took out the time for us to get to know you better. And so, if you can, I read just a little bit of your bio, just a tad bit of it, and then allow you to come in and tell us a little about you, a little bit more about yourself. So I just want people to know who it is that we have here before us.
Absolutely.
So here it is. I want to start. I want to start with the Half Faith production. Is a forever blessed with the talent who came together for this film. The Atlantic recording artists Trevor Jackson, Justin Martin, NAACP nominated Algie Smith, Atkins Etzman, NAACP nominated Darren DeWitt Henson, Brad James, Janie Wallace, Ajana Alexis, Demetrius McKinney, veteran actress Maria Howell, Emmy Award winner Greg Allen Williams. So that's just to name a few about the Have Faith production. You're casting all the people that work with you, but not only that, you have something else, the two sons to the grave. I seen some of that preview, and it was just phenomenal. And I was like, oh my God, this woman is really doing some phenomenal things. So I want to go over some of that with about some of your cast that's on there. Sons to the grave. But before I do, let's back up. Let's go back. I want to ask you the question. How did that come to be for you to just say, I want to write about sons to the grave? When you got ready to write that up, and that was like something that was burning in your spirit. When people get ready to look at that, I want them to have an understanding of where did it come from and how did it resonate with you? Like, what was going on in that place? So how did that come to be? Like, what was going on during that time?
There was an incident that took place. I'm in Toronto. There is an incident that took place in Toronto that was very tragic.
Mm-hmm.
I discussed with many conversations with the family of this young man that was killed.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a film on that exact incident.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it. We met back and forth. It's very different to do an absolute documentary because you have to get every single thing that happened right. So you're not offending anyone and
Right.
You're keeping it true.
Right.
And I admit I'm probably the last person that someone would look at and go, you wrote a story about this? But
right.
It was actually a growing thing with me.
Right.
I walked through that neighborhood and many other neighborhoods and realized that I didn't have any clue of what was going on there. It doesn't matter whether I live in a at-risk neighborhood, but it matters that these are your brother's keeper. You are your brother's keeper. If something is wrong somewhere, you should be there to help. You should be lend a hand. And so we did the story more it's not from a race point of view, but from a social status point of view.
Right.
Because we all know, and certainly in the last couple of years, thank God, it's been talked about more for me as well, that you can be white, black, blue, green, whatever it is. And if you have substance, or if you have means, or if you have power,
come on,
you're accepted. You're fine. But if you're across a bridge where on one side of the bridge is
Mhm.
upper class society, and the other is at risk, you know that the at risk is not getting the attention it needs.
Right.
So I walked the neighborhood, and
Right.
I said to actually people that like grew up in those neighborhoods, and I had no clue, and I'm going, why isn't it perfect? Why isn't it this? Why isn't it that? And why don't we help? When more you get into it, it's just that is the way that it is. So we did a movie on really the split in society.
Mhm.
This young man could
Mhm.
be recruited by the NBA,
Right.
and all of a sudden he was accepted. All of a sudden everybody on the other side of the bridge were talking about him like he belonged to them now. He was
Mm.
just a kid on that side of the other side of the bridge.
Right.
He was not. And
Right.
that's what we try to say, that we, at the end of the day, we are a brother's keeper, and we need to help. We need to help everyone needs to help.
Right.
And so we did that. We did the movie on that, and we made the points that these young men, only our points. I never profess, I don't have the answers to any of these
Right.
problems at all. But from a human being point of view, these young men, and I think it's very easy for us to say, well, why didn't they just not hang out with those people?
Right.
Why didn't they just do this? Why didn't they
Right.
live in that neighborhood?
Come on.
And it isn't so easy.
Right.
And young men are cocky, and they get to be that 17. They think they can handle what's
Right.
happening. And that's what happened to the character in our film. He was recruited to go to the NBA, and it wasn't so easy to leave the person controlling that neighborhood.
Mm.
You can't just say at the end of the day, well, I'm done, I'm through.
Right.
That person's power only exists if they exert that power.
Come on.
And he was shot and killed.
Mm.
So we tell that story, and we had a chance. We're very blessed and honored to have a private screening with Mr. King, MLK3, and his wife and his chief of staff.
Mm.
We sat with my daughter and I. We sat and watched the movie,
Mhm.
and they agreed that this is a story that should be told, and it was done well and emotionally. So
Come on.
we're very blessed. That was one of the most blessed, things for me, to have someone who obviously understands it way more than I do to say,
Right.
yeah, you did good.
Right.
So, and I think the synopsis, I don't know if you have it, it sort of states what this is about very clearly,
Right.
and a
Right.
mother,
I tell you what, when I looked at the preview of it, I said, wow, look how she just really just captured those moments. I just seen the little snippet of the preview that was sent to me, and I was like, oh my God, look at the her cast, and you have cast, by the way, you have and they are great actors, and they all play their phenomenal parts, and it's like, oh my God, like look at this woman, like she.
Yeah.
And how did you go about picking your cast? Like, let's talk about your cast, because I know you said they're phenomenal. I know they are.
They're phenomenal. They are, and they all came together, which was a blessing, because this is a tiny little movie, and it's taken wings, and we're blessed. It's been lifted up, but this is a tiny little. This wasn't a high budget. You spend what you want. It just wasn't.
Right.
We got these actors who. One of the actors, I when he walked on to the set, I went up to him and I said, thank you so much for doing this. I certainly probably was not anywhere what he usually gets, I'm sure. But he said, I do a lot. I work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't often get words like this on a page. So I guess, hopefully, that is the reason that they came together. It was, I can't say enough about the cast. And Maria Howell as the mother. This woman, she, everyone, first thing everybody says, how can she cry like that so long? She shed a lot of tears in this.
Right.
Loss of a son, loss of anyone is devastating.
Right.
We were just very blessed that people cared about what the film was about.
Right.
Or I think, we would have maybe had a harder time getting cast, but we didn't. People were phenomenal. Trevor Jackson, he brought that character, the innocence of it, when when a young man is so cocky and
Right.
got all the answers, and then you see that other side of him where he realizes he's still that.
Right.
He's not quite as smart as he thinks he is, quite as aware of what's going on, and he's trying to be the man of the family, the love between the mother and son in this movie. I am blessed. Greg Allen as the coach. I can't say enough about them. I blessed is all I can say.
Right.
Well,
And like you said, that it's something that, I mean, even yourself, I mean, like when you were just describing the story of an incident that happened, you say, I want to be able to bring it out so more people can be aware of what's going on. I mean, I can see the emotion. I mean, you were even emotional. So of course, you're going to have a cast that can help push that out, push those emotions out, so people can actually feel what is taking place and how it happened, and putting themselves in each other's shoes and say, this is how that person would have felt, and just like you said, how can she just push those tears out? Because as a mother, put herself in another mother's shoe, how could she handle such a situation?
And she did it so outstanding. And I think that everyone can understand. Like I say, this was not a racial story. This was just a mother story and a son story and a rich versus poor, if you want to put it that way.
Come on, right, absolutely.
Actually, the social thing is so horrendous, the difference and the bureaucracy. It's we brought it all out, and maybe not very popular, but it brought it. I just can't tell you how blessed I was with the cast. There's nothing I can look at and go, well, if we had a little more, we would have. Nothing. Come on. We dedicated this to my husband. It was a long, because I lost my husband. That's when we started Half Faith production. I had lost my husband.
Come on.
And it was, and we were actually supposed to do Loud Silence, which is my book out at the time, and we were blessed also to have Dr. Angelou, Maya Angelou, was attached to direct that movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she read the book and the script and decided, yes, she would do that. So with everything like it was, we went on to do Sons, and we dedicated it to my husband. And people say, like, why? What did he have to do with it? And my answer, plain and honest, is my husband loved everyone. It didn't matter to him. Status didn't matter, race, religion didn't matter. That's who he was. And I say that which is hard for at his memorial, the striking, and I remember nothing of it. I was in total shock. But the one thing that stood out to all of us, and everyone says, is that the people that came to say, I'm so sorry, Lynn, was everyone from the mayor, to Oscar Peterson, to I can't tell you who, to the people who delivered our Chinese food, to the people that mowed the lawn, people that all the same, because they were loved and treated with respect. And if we could all just do that, that's who he was, and that's the movie we made.
Come on.
So hopefully other people will see that in this movie. Where we go on to do, actually, we will do a series from this movie.
Come on.
So we're very blessed with that as well.
That is beautiful. And then, you having faith and pushing through and having faith production, was started.
Yeah.
After your husband had passed, and then you having to push through that, having faith and trust in God, and and just say, hey, I'm in memory of my husband. So there's a reason behind all of this. And just like, this movie is like how he feels about things, and he not looking at race and whatever. I mean, he just loved everybody, and that was passed on to you. It's almost like that mantle, is passed on to you. So you get a healthy dose of you being yourself and how you are, and then you got your husband there. So that's a beautiful thing. And my condolences to you, and you just being so strong through it all. Like, that's a blessing to see you and be able to have this conversation with you.
I believe we were carried through this movie.
Come on.
This movie, because I'm telling you, there were times at the end, even with double pneumonia, with everything else, I look back and go, someone was carrying you through that last.
Come on.
So I really feel strongly about things like that.
Come on. And you have no regrets. You said it went perfect. You don't wish that anybody extra was on there. If you had more time, you said it was perfect, just the way God wanted it, and that's a blessing. So when you talked about your first published novel, Loud Silence, when is that going to be released? When is that one coming out?
The book has been out for a long time. I wrote that book many years ago, and I wrote that myself. I didn't write that I didn't want to be an author. I didn't want none of it. I just wrote this because something came to me. I don't know what we want to say what it was. If you'd like, I will.
Yes, yeah, please.
My daughter, Sasha, when she was little, let's say 4 years old, preschool, she went to school with a friend of mine's little boy, and father's very, very, very well known. Everybody catered to him, whatever, and I get that. But the little boy's father was Black and his mother was white. So he was beautiful color. And some kids in the school were teasing him, were saying things. And these are 4 or 5-year-old kids. And my daughter came home in tears because that's her friend. And she didn't understand why, because that's not the household she is raised in. So I sat her down trying to be the mother that had the answers.
Right.
And I was going to do it in as adult a way as you can to a 4 or 5-year-old.
Right.
And honey, this is why they were teasing him.
Right.
I said, you know that, I don't want to say his name because his father is very well known. You know that his name, whatever, it doesn't matter, is his father is daddy is Black. She goes, yeah. She just looks at me like
Ann?
I can see that for myself. I said, you know that his mother is white. And she looks at me again like, yep, I can see that. But that's not what I asked you. She's like, why are they teasing him? And it struck me as soon as I looked at her. And she said, that's okay. I'm going to go ask Gran. My mother, she said, she thought she'd have a better answer. So she wasn't raised that way. And so she couldn't comprehend. And how do you explain that to someone? You can't, and especially a 4-year-old.
Right.
So, Loud Silence. And Maya Angelou read the script in the book. And she said, this story has to be told. This story, the way we've written it, has to be told. So that is going to be our next movie.
Wow.
I'm very, very blessed. We had people, even Alfre Woodard. We were all ready to go. And then I lost my husband. It was a difficult time. So we went on and we did this because the opportunity came to do Silence. And now we are going to do a series, and we're going to do Loud Silence. And I have a new book called The Other Side of the Bed, which is about sort of what I went through when my husband passed away. Woo! We're going to do both. Eventually, we're going to get to all of it, you know?
Lord have mercy. I mean, I don't know. I'm looking for my napkin because I'm up here about to cry.
I know.
I'm trying to do everything to keep. That is a beautiful story to be able to, first of all, have, a baby who don't understand race, who don't understand why and what's the problem with you, and then you then being able to explain like this baby's because not everybody's like that, like we need to let that be known. Not everybody is racist, and some people are raising their children, not to be racist, and then to have that story where this young baby is saying, no, I don't understand, like you're telling me this, so what's the issue? Like she didn't get it.
No, she didn't get it. And she wasn't, and these children that were doing, they're not born like that.
Right.
They have heard it. They are taught.
Right. Yeah, they're taught.
We had everyone at the time when we were going to do the movie. We had Reverend Jesse Jackson, who also read the book and wanted to play. He wanted to be a part of the film actually and play himself on the film. Everyone that read it said the same thing, and it wasn't really just about that. We had to do something different because there's many stories like that. So we took the story of 2 women who were long 18-year friendship. This is the fictional part of that. Okay. built their houses together. They raised their kids together in the same upper affluent neighborhood. And the white family, black family, if you want to put it that way, they schooled back and forth together. They cried on each other's shoulders through, a close friendship can be like sisters.
Right.
They're not sisters. And then the kids grow up and decide they want to get married and get engaged and be married.
Okay.
All of a sudden, these close friends who have gone through everything together, the women, not the fathers, but the wives,
right,
they're not as thrilled with that. Now we have to ask ourselves why. Why weren't they jumping up and down going, great, because they love each other's kids, they do.
right.
They did not think it was the right thing. So we tell that story. And that's why Maya Angelou, I think, wanted to, I can't speak for her, obviously, but I think she did say it was a different story. It was from love, not hate.
Come on.
We did it and wrote the script, and hopefully the movie will come out as strong as we would like it to.
Come on.
I think I wrote about something that even at the time I did not know about.
Come on.
So it was, I look at it now and go, yeah, okay. That's what it was,
Oh my.
Yeah. Well, I don't know I don't have any of the answers, but we're going to tell that story anyway.
I am just in awe because we're talking about Loud Silence from your first novel, and The Other Side of the Bed that's coming out soon. And
yeah, it will be in the States and in Canada. Yeah.
Right. Okay, great. So
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get a chance. Oh my goodness. So your production, Have Faith production.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we let it be made known also again who you are, as we can see on the screen there, that you are a Canadian writer. You're a producer, you are a director, and a published author. Can you tell us how long have you been in this field? How long have you had the dream to do it? And how long has it been going on? How long have you had this dream? How long have you?
Then it would have to be about a year after about 2003, maybe 15 years. Let's say maybe 15, 16 years. Yeah, it was a long time.
Wow. And I can tell it's a very passion of yours. We're gonna have to keep our eyes open on Have Faith production, because that right there is gonna be definitely a production for us to look out for. I know for myself, I'm gonna be looking out for Have Faith production, because ma'am, what did you say, Miss Lynn?
I said I appreciate that so much.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be on the lookout for it, because I know that this Have Faith production, you know how you have the TV when it's coming on, they have a different production.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking for Have Faith production, because it's like you're really telling like real true stories, and maybe even the stories that other people may not want to talk about, or it goes on, it actually happens, and it's like I want to be that one to shed light on on how things are done and why it's done like that. So the things that we may not have the answers to, you say, I'm going to be that one. I don't mind. I'm bold enough, and people just need to know. And also to let us know that everybody's not like that, and there are some loving people in this world. And so for us, when we're coming out and looking at people, like, don't be judgmental and think that everybody's the same, because there are some loving people in this world, and some people that really care. And then for you to come out and you want to do this Sons to the Grave movie, like, that is absolutely phenomenal, for you to take yourself really out of your comfort zone and say, I want to go here, I want to see what this is all about, I want to do some more research into this. Matter of fact, I want to write a movie about this and shed some light on this. And then I'm just in awe. I'm speechless. I'm so grateful and honored for you to do this. This is a blessing.
Thank you so much. I think we need to write about strong women, and not strong women as they don't need men ever, they don't need, not that kind of that when it's their time to stand on their own and they have to, they can.
Come on.
And that's what The Other Side of the Bed, my new book, is about. And even the Lifetime Network said that this is one of the best stories that they had, because they read the script, that they had read on this subject, because it's not because I wrote it, but I think I just wrote it honestly. Right. That there are things that happen. I mean, it's not it's a horribly sad time and a horrible time, but sometimes things that people say to you when you're going through that and whatever, it is really funny, actually. They think they're helping, but they're really not. But so we put it all in, and that's why the US, I think, is going to take this book. The first book they didn't take, but now we're going to re-release it, and now they want it.
Come on.
Times have changed.
Right. Yeah. And then, it's about the right timing. And this is perfect timing for everything. And then this is just that time. It's just that time. And you held on to it, And so how many years ago has it been since you wrote it? And then now it's coming to pass, it's manifesting and stuff. So how long ago has it been?
Well, the new work is all on faith and family. We're going to do faith and family stories. Dropped Off is one of them. We're going to do it in Nashville. That's a new story. We have a lot that has, but Loud Silence stuck with us from the beginning.
Okay.
That was the first. The Other Side of the Bed was a few years, maybe 3-4 years ago. But we're going to do movies that have standards.
Right.
Have standards and morals and heart and faith, and it has to have faith in all my films. With faith in it. You don't have to agree with it. Right. You don't have to have that.
Right.
For me, faith is what keeps me on the right path. That's how I deal with the world, is through faith. It's very important to me. So that's what we're going to do.
Right. Oh my goodness. This has been a blessing, Miss Lynn, and an honor to have you.
Thank you.
Talking and to share your story and shed some light on the movie. I pray that people look at this video.
I hope my sons and it's doing so well. We're at 8.7 out of 10 as of today. And I was praying for 5. I was like, if I get 5, I'm going to be happy. And 8.7. So we need everybody to watch it and go onto IMDb and rate it.
Right. Oh my goodness. So, okay. So how can, if someone was interested in something, doing some film, are you into like teaching and maybe coaching and things like that? Is there anything that, have you been thinking about kind of, with more writing and doing,
Well, we have there's 6 projects that are written and done. That we have to do. So we haven't really thought past that unless something came to me that I feel that I think we should write about, or I think I need to write about. But we have a lot, including, like I said, the series, which will be called Hudson, which is the name of the neighborhood in Sons to the Grave. And it's really about a police department that is situated in both areas, in the good side of the bridge and the bad side of the bridge, and how do they look at everyone in the same way. We know the answer is no to that.
Right.
But we tell the story of this precinct and how they manage to keep peace in both sides of the bridge. And so and we bring some of the characters back from Sons as well, from Sons.
Come on.
But we can't say who because everyone is asking, so I can't say who, but yes, we're going to bring some of them back. So I really look forward to that. So we are really busy, but we welcome anyone getting in touch with us if they have an interest in working with us and doing those kind of movies. Absolutely welcome that. Yeah.
Okay, so if they have like a book, or is that something that you'll be interested in? If they had a book or a story to tell, is that something you'd be interested in? Or how can someone reach you to kind of see if they have something that may pique your interest? Is that something get
in touch with Sasha. I'm telling you, it's a curse and a blessing to have a publicist and a producer in the family.
Come on, the family.
He's strong, but we can, we can take a look at anything. I think things come into your life that you don't know is going to come into your life.
Absolutely.
And look at if someone says we have, let's say another production company or whatever comes to you and says we have this film, but we want you to make it into what Sons was. We have people have said that to us, like, we want
Come
you to do
on.
a film that comes out like this.
Right.
Yeah, we would if the film falls into, not that it's bad, but it has to fall into some faiths,
Right.
humanity.
Right. Right.
Some stories I just wouldn't write. Not that it doesn't matter. People do, and the world loves them, but that's just not for me.
Right. Right. I see.
There are we would take a look at that, and we would also take a look at other productions companies that would come to us and say, we want to do that story that you have sitting there and you haven't gotten around to it yet.
Come on.
The other side of the bed, I very much want to do that story.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess you listen to what comes to you, and then you take it from there and you decide from that. So yeah, they can get in touch with us, I guess, through social medias. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I love, you know what? I love you, Miss Lynn. I absolutely love you. I love you because I feel your heart. I feel your spirit. I feel your soul. And I feel the love that you have for people. And I feel, you know, that if someone come to talk with you, you don't have any bias. You don't have any prejudice.
Oh, no.
I just feel like if anybody come and have a conversation with you, you will solely go by what you feel in your spirit is like right or wrong. And I can tell by your movies, you know, that I can tell in the vein which you come in. It's like you're very consistent with it. And I absolutely love it. I say stay where you are, because you're definitely going to shed some light on both sides, so everybody will know, you know, how things are, so everybody can see how it is on both sides of the you keep saying of the bridge, you know, bridge the gap, you know. So what are you going to say?
Yeah, it is a bridge. And because when the real story happened, it was the young man was shot in the middle of this footbridge.
Oh, wow.
And on the left side was very, very, very expensive homes and the power structure of Toronto. On the other side is it totally, you know, opposite.
Right.
He was shot on that bridge. So we kept the bridge there, and we had our character was shot on that bridge as well. So, but you know, we did try to tell things the way that, not the way that we're saying it is, just this is what we say happens in these neighborhoods, in both neighborhoods, for everyone involved, and you don't have to agree with it.
Right.
You can say, well, I don't agree that happens or whatever. That's totally fine. But this is the story we told.
Wow.
As we see it.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm honored, you know, to have been able to interview you, and this has been a blessing. I'm so grateful for it. I want to tell you thank you for taking out the time to allow me to interview you and to find out more about your production and get it out there, you know. So I'm definitely looking forward to having you inside our magazine, and I would love to have you on the inside of our magazine, and you know, on the cover as well. So when that time, yes ma'am, when that time comes, we'll see.
Thank you. We'll keep you advised of anything that, you know, that comes out that we're doing, so that you can keep kind of in touch with what we're doing. Because I feel like, you know, and we're Nubian Queens magazine, so I feel like you're doing a new thing. You know, you're bringing about something new, and so I definitely would love to have you on the cover of our magazine, and I'll get back with you and let you know exactly when and everything, and I'm looking forward to speaking and hear more about you and what you're doing, and I wish you nothing but the best moving forward, and that everything that you put your hands to do, God continue to bless it, and that He continue giving you witty ideas. And thank you for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we go? No, just keep an eye out for the series, Hudson. And thank you so much, Yolanda. Yeah, you're most welcome. Thank you. Same here. I love you. You take care of yourself, Miss Lynn, and God bless you. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe, and press the bell button.